Once upon a time, there was a grandmother. Grandma wasn't feeling very well. She had a cold. Achoo! Achoo! And so she decided that her best solution would be just to stay at home and wrap herself up in her nice blanket and go take a nap. So she laid down and went to bed. Well, she happened to have a very favorite granddaughter, Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood wanted Grandma to come and visit her very much, and so she called Grandma. Ring, 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 and Grandma answered the phone. Hello? And Little Red Riding Hood said, "Oh, Grandma, you should come and visit us. We made chocolate chip cookies today." And Grandma said, "Oh, I just don't feel good. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it today. I am so sorry. I think I have a fever. I'm just going to go and lay down." "Oh, no, Grandma," said Little Red Riding Hood. I'll bring you some cookies. I know you love them so much." And Grandma said, "Well, okay, I do love cookies, so you can bring me some cookies, but remember that it's dark and scary in the woods, and there's a wolf that lives there, so don't talk to the wolf and be really careful because it's dangerous in the woods." "Oh, no problem, Grandma. I am super careful. Okay, I'm going to grab some cookies and come and visit you." "Okay." And so Grandma went back to bed. Little Red Riding Hood was very excited about walking all by herself to Grandma's house through the woods. She had her basket, it was full of cookies, so she set out through the woods. And as she walked through the woods, she said, "I'm not afraid of the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf, the big bad..." Well, that was a lie. She was actually very afraid of the big bad wolf. But she thought that if she just kept singing, she would have the courage to keep walking through the dark wood. "I am not afraid of the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf." Well, who should come out of the woods but this handsome stranger? The big Little Red Riding Hood said, "Oh, no, it's a bad wolf." No, I'm not a bad wolf. I'm a neighbor that you've never met before." "Oh, a neighbor, I see." "Something around here smells like chocolate chip cookies." "Oh, yes, I'm taking chocolate chip cookies to my grandma. See, I have this basket. It's full of chocolate chip cookies. Grandma's not feeling well. She just lives over the hill and around through the forest a little ways. And I'm going to take her some cookies because she doesn't feel good." "Oh, wow, you are such a sweet granddaughter. I am so proud of you, little girl." "Oh, thank you, neighbor I've never met before." "Oh, yes, you know what? I just remembered a very important thing I need to do." And that sneaky wolf slipped away. "Oh, well, that was a very nice neighbor I've never met before," said Little Red Riding Hood. And she went to singing and going back through the woods. "I'm not afraid of the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. I'm not afraid of the big bad..." And pretty soon she came to Grandma's house and she knocked. And pretty sure soon she heard someone answer, "Hello?" And so she went right in and she saw her grandmother all wrapped up in a blanket. Now, Grandma was looking very sick. She had her blanket up around her face. Said Grandma. Well, Little Red Riding Hood thought that Grandma looked very peculiar since she was so sick, and she said, "Oh, Grandmother, what big eyes you have." And the wolf, because that's who it really was, said, "Yes, big, the better to see you with, my dear." And Little Red Riding Hood said, "Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have." And the wolf said, Yes, the better to hear you with, my dear." And the Little Red Riding Hood said, "Oh, grandmother, what big teeth you have." And the wolf said, "Yes, the better to eat you with, my dear." And he leaped out of the bed and he jumped on Little Red Riding Hood and grabbed her basket and was, "Give me that basket, give me that basket." And Little Red Riding Hood did what she knew how to do best. She screamed, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." Well, fortunately for her, a local woodcutter heard her screaming, and he came running into the cottage, and there he saw the wolf chasing Little Red Riding Hood around and around and around, and he jumped up and he grabbed that wolf by the tail and swung him around and threw him out of the cottage. Well, Little Red Riding Hood was so thankful. "Oh, thank you, woodcutter." And the woodcutter said, "Oh, it's quite all right, Little Red Riding Hood, but where's your grandmother?" And Little Red Riding Hood said, "I just don't know. I think that big bad wolf must have eaten her." Well, about that time, grandmother came crawling out from under the bed, and she goes, "I just don't understand how that wolf knew where you were going. But I'm so glad you made it safely." So the Little Red Riding Hood, grandmother, and the woodcutter sat down on the bed, and they shared the delicious, delicious chocolate chip cookies. And the poor big bad wolf had none. The